Good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Welcome, welcome.
Good to see everybody.
Namaste, namaskar.
Yeah.
Blessed day.
November, we were just saying how awesome November has been so far. And we have the 11/11 this week, which is the beginning of such a big portal opening. It's been open, I think, but it's even more, the 11/11 and the 12/12 and then the 19th and then the 21st. So we just keep going and going and going. So yeah, I hope you're feeling good and the energies are good. Yeah. We've had such a beautiful fall here too. We're finally going to turn cold this week. So not finally, but um, time to go within even deeper, right? Yeah. So, so I don't really have much to say about the week.
I know, I kind of want to talk about November, but I'm not really sure what's coming for me about November. There's a lot of, how should we say, negative influences implant into the planetary grid. And these things go in cycles, these negative implants, and then the God source responds and does things to dissipate, clear, open the channels so that we can continue our ascension work. And November seems to be one of those tipping months where it it gets cleared out. It's been getting cleared out for the month, but it's like, okay, we cleared it out. Now there's like, okay, something new here. It's been like that way for me anyway for the last couple of years. I remember, yeah, each year it's like November is just like big opportunity to really move into the energies from a place of the planetary grid, the planetary energies, and how they've cleared for us, or humanity is us, right? So I've been contemplating what that looks like, right? Because we're in this place right now where we're kind of getting clarity. Last month we probably got a lot of change in our lives, a lot of service that we did, and a lot of transition happening. And we're like, okay, there's this something new happening, and we're in this transition. We'd like it to happen a little faster. We'd like we'd like to push the process forward a little bit. And yeah, it takes a little while to come from the unmanifested. We're just feeling it coming into place, into clarity for us. So I think we're in about the last week of that. You should really start to feel some locking in on what what the next what your clarity in your role, your service is going to be more this year, in the coming year. So that's one of the things that I was feeling about.
Yeah.
You know,
And we're seeing the realignment everywhere. And I use the analogy sometimes, it's like when you water ski. I grew up on the Great Lakes, so we were a boating, water skiing kind of family. And if you held on, if you were going to fall and you kept holding on and you got scared and you tightened, you get taken to the bottom, like you get dragged around and you can get kind of ripped up a little bit. So it was always about relaxing and letting go and just not trying to create it happen. And I think we're in that space of just letting go and trusting and leaning in and leaning in. So you don't get taken under and you don't get like bounced around and beat up. I mean, we're all going through our process, but I feel we're seeing it everywhere in people's lives and companies with the mamos. I mean, in our lives and our work, it's pretty extraordinary. And I think for me, because I'm a planner and I like to control things, and it's really been about leaning in that trust. Um, and I used the analogy this week with someone about surfing. He likes to surf. We had a session with somebody, and I said, you can't go out he was talking about his business. I said, you don't go out in the ocean and make the wave happen. you don't demand it to happen and, start yelling at it or start doing your hocus pocus to make this wave come. You go out there in a place of pure love and bliss and you wait. And the best rides you have on your wave is when in your heart and you're in alignment and you're in your intuition and you're not thinking, right? That's kind of what we're being asked to do in our life is just to lean in and trust. So if the wave doesn't come, enjoy the sunlight, enjoy the smell of the salt air. So it's been a real visual for me to go back to is just like leaning in, just leaning in and trusting, just leaning in and trusting. So, um, yeah, so that's kind of what I've been working with. Uh, Um,
You have to sort of have a kind of a inner guidance system, though. You kind of have to be able to feel or sense that inner guidance to lean into. I mean, we're kind of programmed from our educational society to have the plan, right? And the plan is the structure, and we do this, we do this, we do this, we get to the Z, right? We get to the goal. And that's the way it works in the third dimension, and that's the way we're programmed, and but we're coming out of that paradigm and to let go of that's how we make or that's how we create, that's how we get what we want, right? That has to be let go of, that whole paradigm.
mm.
When you reach a certain level of mastery of life, it's like, oh yeah, okay, you've got that down. You can do A, B, C, D, and do that, do that, do that, and get to where you need to go. Okay, what's the next challenge for you? Can you follow the inner guidance? Can you allow the trust? Can you allow the flow, the movement of God's source, the inspiration to inform your actions? Or are you going to keep overriding it with the way you want to do it and the way you want it to look and the way you know that it's worked for you in the past?
Mm.
Right? It's worked in the past. Why wouldn't it work now? Well, it doesn't. At some point, you get to a point where it doesn't work anymore. And then you kind of like, well, I'm doing everything I used to do, you know?
And showing up is important. If you're going to surf, you got to drive to the beach or walk to the beach, get your surfboard, get your wetsuit on. I mean, there is a level of showing up and then surrendering. So you can't just sit at home either and hope everything's going to just, manifest without any action. But a place of excitement. I'm going to go surfing today and I'm excited and the sun's out and it feels really good, and that joy. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I think of it as inspired or illuminated action, right? It's it's that inner guidance system. It's saying, and we override it all the time. I should have done that. Oh man, if I had only done that, man, what is it? Oh. But most of us probably on this call are pretty good at noticing when we override,
Yeah.
when we override now. And we still override ourselves in little things, like little things, but for the big things we don't miss usually. We're pretty good at like, okay, that's that marker. We got it. We got to go here with the with what Spirit's showing me and telling me. So
So yeah, so be in your own adventure and inquiry. The other thing that's been really showing up for me is the Andaras. And those of you that work with the Andaras, they're like, I mean, just wanting to be outside and wanting to be in these light codes and wanting to be in the moonlight. The full moon was so gorgeous. And I just posted another group. They're on sale. I marked them. I have a bunch more that have come off the land that I'm going to be posting throughout the week. And really sitting with the downloads, I keep getting the connection with this energy happening right now in 3AIAtlas and how they're both these kind of cosmic gifts working with us to help hold the frequency as we kind of move through this portal. So be in your own inner guidance with your Andaras if you have them, and work with them because I think they're all part of this next evolution. And I did write up something yesterday, and I'll do it as a blog post if I get a chance to do it, of kind of what it was showing me and telling me about even the molecular structure. So, it's kind of interesting and fun. But for me, they've just been loud, loud in a good way, in a good way. So yeah.
Yeah, you shared that with me. I was hoping we haven't put it on the blog yet.
Not yet, I didn't get a
Oh
chance.
man.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll get
Maybe
it.
today.
We'll add it to the end of this YouTube video when we post it today. I'll put it on. I don't know if that's too much pressure on you to get it done today, honey, but or we'll put it in our blog. You really should read that blog because it's real short, but just to give you a little taste of what I took from it was the 3I Atlas is a catalyst, right? It accelerates the activations of our DNA. It's a catalyst for expansion of consciousness. And where it came from and all that stuff is interesting too, right? But it's what opens up when you tune into it, right? And the Andaras are about integrating it. It's about allowing us to smoothly integrate those frequencies into our system and into our DNA so that we're not like it's like energy will queue if you're energy will queue and you're like upload waiting to get into the body for your body to for you to do the work, whether it be physically or at the gym or at the yoga or maybe going to Cancun and get in the ocean or whatever it is, and all of a sudden it'll download, but you hold it as weight or you hold it as tension in the body. So the Indara has helped to weave it in so that you're not
Yeah.
cued in these energies that are trying to get in.
So the blog's not up yet, but when I post it, I'll share it in our WhatsApp and I'll put the link underneath this video. So I'll do that. I just didn't get time yesterday because I was writing, so it didn't get posted. We're a small shop. We kind of do everything ourselves. So the other thing that was really cool and so like the timing of it, so beautiful. There's so many synchronicities working is Amanda Ellis did a new earth spray and she used the Andaras because she was talking about new materials and new earth. And she has a YouTube, I'll link that under here, talking about the new earth and the energy, like creating from the new place, right? And it was she's so well done and very sweet. And I got so excited. We ordered ours. We don't have it. I think we'll get it this week. So I cannot wait to see how it interacts with the Andaras here. So I'm really, really excited about that because we have her other sprays. And man, they're really high quality. Shipping's not that expensive, even though it's coming from the UK, and they last. Like they hold their scent. Like I have ones that are 2 or 3 years old, and they're still really powerful. So anyway, I'll post that link. But I thought it was the timing of it was just like, what is going on? So it was
We like Amanda Atlas. She's so cute. We just think she's so
she's so
cute.
pure-hearted. Yeah.
She just, she's not trying to be something and be, she's like, this is what I'm getting. And she puts it through a nice 1970s folk lens for us that we grew up back in the 70s and the music and stuff.
Oh yeah, she
you
knows
know,
her music, man. So
and so it's like, and she has such a connection with the Christos, with
mm,
the Christos energy. And so it's like it's like more than she channels all these things, but she doesn't realize how she's being inspired by
profound. Yeah.
how her connection is there. She like anyway,
She's
we
very humble
yeah,
and she doesn't somebody. So yeah,
we're
so
happy to promote Mrs. Amanda
oh
Ellis.
yeah. I'll put the link so you can look at it. And she has other sprays too. Of course, I got some clearing one and sage ones that have been calling, so I kind of wait to do the batch. The other thing I just want to clarify, and sorry if I was a little confusing last week. I don't know where I was in La La Land. I think we were finishing the cleanse or whatever, but with the Mamos event, we did talk with Mama Rodrigo last week. He was so excited.
Our indigenous tribes from the high Sierra Nevadas in Columbia Mountain. They are still very connected to Mother Earth, and they've got many elders, and they call the ascended ones that still live in caves, that still, that hold all the old stories and hold the energies. And the Mamos are the kind of the ones that are the priests and priestesses that travel around the world and do healings with Mother Nature.
So there are groups that travel, like are approved, and many of you have met the groups that we work with. Mama Rodrigo is kind of the leader of that clan. And he wants, there's so many Mamos and Zagas that are not approved to travel, that live on the mountain, live in the Sierra, that have teachings and want to share.
They're like wandering sadhus.
So,
They just
yeah.
they've gone up in the mountains.
So he's gathering them to be on our program on December 6th. So it will be Mama Rodrigo with a whole different group of Indigenous that are very excited to share their wisdom. We'll get technology there. They have to come down the mountain a little bit. So we have reception. So it'll be Zoom, it'll be live. Luis will be our translator. He's a beautiful young man from Colombia. He is actually going to be getting he's with them now in Mexico, and then he'll be getting his initiation at the end of this month. So it'll be really, um, really good. His Pamparo, which is part of their initiation. So he'll be with us on the call, and it's from 9 to 3. We'll have a pause for lunch. It's online on Zoom. If you can't be live or you're from in another country, I had a few people text me, you'll get the recording. It's not going to be posted later or sold later because they're going to want to see you, so for privacy reasons of people on the call. Mama Rodriguez also has that you all wear white in respect of the elders, and he has special
Respect for the energy.
and the energy and the teachings, and he has some requirements that he wants us to have because what we're going to be doing is doing an offering during on our own land or take it to a sacred place like a river or a lake or the ocean near us. So there's two shells. The men need like a little kind of puka shell, and I'll do photographs and send it out to the registrants. And the women need kind of a long vertical shell, and the shells
It's like a
represent
drill. It's like a big
like
drill
a
bit.
drill. And they actually represent the genitalia of the opposite sex. And it's to balance the male female within us, within the collective, the divine feminine and masculine energy. So it's really beautiful. And corn husks, I know it's fall time, so if your neighbor's throwing out their big corn husks before they decorate for Christmas, go grab them. I went and hiked in our cornfield by our house and picked a bunch of husks because you put your offerings inside the husks. They'll teach us how to do that so you're not putting anything unnatural in the land. So um, that's through the Global Trust. That's up and on the website. I think it's going to be really awesome. He said typically the teachings that he's going to teach us, would go up there and spend 7 days with them,
Up in the high Sierras.
like 7 consecutive days getting these teachings. And because we're doing it Zoom online, they're going to see what spirit guides them, divinize what they'll work with us. But he said it's probably a series of these teachings over a period of time for us.
Yeah.
So
Check in the first one, see if
yeah,
it
so if it
resonates with you.
resonates and that we'll go with the flow is how it goes with them. So he was really, really, really happy and excited about it. So yeah.
And why would we want to work with the indigenous, right? Why? What's special about these particular mamas, right? Well, in our 12-strand DNA, I'm just going to give one little piece. In our 12-strand DNA, each of us are coded for a specific part of the world. That part of the world is like our tribe, which is our DNA, activates that part of the grid, right? And we've been kind of crossbred and moved all over the world. And so we've kind of lost our connection to the earth, and we've lost our connection to the stargates or the portals, the Stonehenges, the Sedonas, all these different places that your DNA is supposed to be communicating with. You're supposed to be enlivening, activating, and that's what the indigenous, what they do, their drumming and all their ceremonies is all about activating. They do the rain ceremonies. They're working with the planet grids. They're working with the weather. That's what your DNA is supposed to do. So when you have an opportunity to work with the indigenous, they've never left their portal. They've never left their Stargate. They're still there. They're still connected. They still have those elders that are in the caves, doing the work, doing the pagamentos. So we're all human. We're all one big species. Our DNA talks to each other. And so when you work with them, whether you're aware of it or not, your DNA is getting the codes and you're getting turned on part of your DNA. So that would be one of the reasons why you would want to work with the indigenous. And if you love the planet, you want to talk to nature and you want to, galvanize all those type of things in your life, then that would be another reason, right? So
Yeah. Yeah. So, so yeah. And then the last piece is Ireland. Yay. It's starting to fill up. So that's so exciting. And that's going to be just, I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm really, really excited. So, yeah.
I always got some.
I can already like for a while it was kind of quiet and I was like, oh, maybe it's not gonna happen. Maybe it's gonna happen. And then all of a sudden I was like, this week I could feel okay, it's starting to the momentum starting to build, which is pretty incredible. So
Well, we spoke earlier a little bit about November opening the grids or November clearing some of the implants in the planetary grid. When that happens, the sacred sites get an upgrade. So they receive the new downloads or the new upgrades that are coming from 3AIAtlas, that are coming through the solar gates, that are coming from the planet and up to us. And Ireland is very important. It's one of the first one that's opened, or one of the first ones that's opening. I mean, over the next probably 10 years, you're going to see a successive opening of these portals. So we're
there
going to,
hasn't been too much just I mean, there's distortion in a lot of places, but Ireland's still pretty clean compared to some of the other sites. Like you go to the Acropolis and it's like, wow. Um, I couldn't even stay there. I had to like leave immediately. Um, but
Ireland is very, very pure state.
very pure. But this is definitely a spiritual pilgrimage. You know, it's not like a touristy vacation. I mean, we're going to be really going to these beautiful sites and really spending time with the land. You know, you will have plenty of time to go have a Guinness and shop and do all those things, but it's really we're going to places that are kind of we'll go to a few very well-known places, the Hill of Tara and Newgrange, and those are key, and some sacred wells, but we're going to be spending a lot of time in places where there's a really high concentration of these standing stones
The
and
remote places
the
where
remote
the energy is.
where the energy is. So, and we're right on that Michael Mary
Energy,
Skellig.
energy's everywhere, but
Yeah, but so so if you feel called, it's on the website. I'll put the link below. So
thank you, honey.
yeah. Are you ready?
I am. I'm ready.
Yeah. So here we go. Yeah. That beautiful goddess.
Yeah. She's working with all the weavings, electrical circuits she's got going on there.
That's what the Zagas do. Yeah.
And
Mm.
what they do is those weavings create the halos, the magnetic fields. So let's prepare to activate our magnetic fields. Yeah, just check your posture real quick now. Close your eyes. Just notice notice your eyeballs. Notice your eyelids and the energy that's there behind your eyelids. While your eyes settled, are they rapidly kind of moving, flashing? And as you just kind of sink into the transmission that you're already receiving through the ocular vortices, take a deep breath into your heart. It's almost as if you're pulling energy into your heart. Bring your attention inward and see if you can focus. Continue to keep your focus centered at your third eye while also focusing on your breath and the heart and the energy of the synchronization. We're going to do that together as a collective. So gently exhaling, breathing in, hold. See if you can hold both together. The energy behind the eyes, energy of the heart, and then exhale. You may notice they're starting to integrate as we breathe in. Breathing in, feel the energy diving into your heart. And exhale. This time you're pulling energy from the front of your third eye, through your eyes, through your ajna, into your heart, to the back of your heart. Breathing in. It's as if the current is funneling through the third eye, through the midbrain, down through the cervical spine, into the heart, charging in the heart and exhaling back out through the front and up to the third eye. Exhale. Inhale into the third eye. Pulling it into the heart, letting the heart charge, noticing how deep or how, as you move into that inner chamber, begins to lighten, and then exhale. Push it through the front of you, and push it through the third eye. Let the third eye catch it. Hold. Breathe in. Pulling into the heart. Hold. Feel the inner heart expansion. And exhale. Feel the energy circling around and catching into the third eye. One more time together, breathing in. Feeling your heart fully expanded now. Locking inward and expanding the heart outwards, and then exhaling. Catch it in the third eye. Again, see it locking in the third eye. And then just reset. Just kind of let your next inhale be autonomic. Begin to notice how that current, that loop is running now on its own. Let your own natural breathing rhythm support the movement of the energy through that circuit. And you'll start to notice the filling out of the third eye as like a sphere. The filling out of the heart is a larger sphere. And the two spheres, the third eye and the heart, beginning to create a coherence. Good. And as the coherence gets a little stronger, you're going to notice your crown opening and the energy pushing down from your heart through solar plexus, through the sacral. And just clearing its way through your antakarana down into your root. And you just expand your awareness so that you're still aware of the heart, third eye loop, but you're also holding the higher vision or the higher awareness of your crown to your root. Good. The energy is kind of pushing up through the crown. You may feel like the lid of your head is kind of opened up a little, kind of pushing through your tailbone and root. And your spine is becoming more enlightened, more electric. And you may even notice your breathing pattern shifting. It's almost as if you're pulling energy into your heart now. Instead of bringing it in through the back, it's like you're pulling it in through the front. Kind of charges, and as you exhale, it kind of goes up and down, pushing through the density above your head, your skull, creating like a torch-like effect above your head, and pushing down, kind of clearing anything there at the tailbone or at the coccyx, any energies that are densified. Yeah, when you kind of get, if you bring your awareness to your tailbone and you bring your awareness to the root at the tip of your tailbone, your coccyx, as it pushes through or threads through, notice how it stabilizes your crown, anchors your spine, illuminates your third eye. Good. Now the frontal lobe of the brain to the crown is all illuminated. You may feel the energy kind of spreading between the crown and the third eye. And then it kind of threads around your ears, to your occipital lobes and parietal lobe, back to your medulla. And as you breathe in, you're kind of like pulling the energy from the frontal lobe through the center, through the parietal side lobes, back into the medulla, the mouth of God. It's almost as if the energy is plugging into that space at the back of your head, just below your skull. You may feel like a little circular opening there. You may feel a little vibrational tingling, or you just may feel your medulla is just starting to be present for you. Maybe just present as an image of light. Just hold, continue to hold like a passive awareness of your energetic body, but bring your focus now into your medulla. You're receiving, you're in receiving mode, or allowing that light outline of the medulla to be charged. And notice how, as the charge strengthens, as the medulla holds more energy, how it becomes a little more focused in your, more tangible in your awareness, but also how the energy spreads out behind your head. It's almost as if you have an electric force field, a shield. It's coming on behind, like a helmet behind you, behind your head. At first, it may be just a small shield, but continue to breathe into the medulla. Yeah, breathing into that space, just your neck meets into your skull, back of your head. And if you open your eyes and look at the picture of the meditation, you'll see around her head the rings. It's a fully opened medulla. That's what we're just allowing the energy to strengthen for that shield to expand. And if you have the visual on how large you'd like it to be, you can use the visual on the screen. And we're just going to continue to feel that until we get to that size shield behind our head. Now there's some energies that's coming up through our root from Mother Earth. You may have already noticed it as some gentle undulations, slight waves moving through your antakarana. Just have the intention for the energies to move into your medulla, allowing the earth codes, Mother Earth's crystalline core earth codes, to be pulled into the magnetic sphere of your medulla. Good. It's been a kind of a gentle cascade from the medulla at the back of your brain through the front of your brain. It's as if the earth codes, the earth consciousness codes, are weaving back up through the back of your brain, up into the midbrain, crown, side of your brain, parietal lobes into your frontal lobe and third eye. Just allow that plasma consciousness to saturate and enlighten your brain. See your brain immersed in plasma light. See the neurons holding more charge. See the matter as illuminated instead of dark. See the blue-white neuron charges moving from little tendrils, like little static to coherent, thick, coherent, solid lines. Allow your brain to rewire. If you wish to bring in an image or an intention of a fifth dimensional brain, this would be good practice now. Just notice now how that loop that we began, the heart, third eye, wisdom, coherence loop, how it's changed with the brain frequency, and bring your awareness back into the heart now. It's as if you're bringing an image of your fifth dimensional enlightened plasma brain filled with light, with activated silver, white, and blue currents into your heart, to the crystalline core of your heart. And allow your heart to love your crystalline brain. Begin to breathe in with that prana life force and drink of that plasma consciousness, the yumminess of your heart, the purity of your own heart love as it interacts with your crystalline brain. And see if you can, like, it's almost as if your heart now has become like its own breathing apparatus, like gills or like lungs. And as you pull in the plasma consciousness from the crystalline core, it fills up the gills with joy, with vitality, with life. Every breath is pulling in more of that juiciness of the divine, the nectar of the divine. As if your heart is becoming like this plasmic honeycomb of divine love. That divine love is turning into like plasma, golden plasma, honey love. And it's beginning to kind of like seep down from your heart down into your solar plexus, down into your abdomen and your filling up your womb of creation with this honeycomb, plasmic love. As you breathe it in and interact with it, it just expands and integrates. And you pull in even more honey through the core of your heart. See if you can feel it like in the core of your heart as a trickle and energetically taste it. And as you do so, you may even notice that the core of your pineal, your brain, has a similar resonance. And there's this golden plasma love there too. And it's trickling outwards into your brain, almost like it's falling backwards into your medulla. Your medulla is catching it. Just allow now for this golden honeycomb amrit to feel your brain, to feel your abdomen, work through your hips, and just spread it all around within you. It'll fill on its own, or if you feel to interact, and like paint it from the inside, wherever you feel any type of density or blockage. And then move into the feeling nature of that amrit, that nectar. And notice how you're generating. And now begin to bring your awareness to your crown. And notice as you do so, the golden plasma nectar begins to bubble at your crown. For some of you, it's already kind of spouting, creating kind of like a rain, like a golden, misty amaret rain that's moving out into your auric field. If you feel it kind of bubbling at your crown, allow it to just kind of slide around all of your skin. So if you had liquid water or plasma honey, you're dousing your whole skin in. Literally, it's really a golden, it's like gold. It's just literally gold, plasma gold. It's gold if you had it at the next level of refinement beyond the physical. See your body as a golden body. See yourself fully immersed as if take it all the way down to your toes and in between your toes and your as if you're fully dipped in. And when you step out, you're golden being. You're just a golden plasma light being. Once you have that filled, then just allow that energy that's like spouting like a fine mist above you from your crown. Just see it 360 around you pull it into all your auric fields, pull it down around into your feet, beneath your feet. Like you're living in a golden, metallic, magnetic plasma sphere, breathing golden amaranth, generating golden amaranth. Next, what we're going to do is we're just going to breathe into our hearts, and we're going to plug into the core of Mother Earth. So breathing into your heart, having an image of your whole golden plasma self, and then down, exhaling through your roots, through your antakrana, take it into that image, into the core of Mother Earth. Plant it like a seed, like a golden sphere of light. Maybe take a breath there. Make sure that you're received by Mother Earth. And when you feel like you've landed it, planted it, locked it in, breathe energy back up. Mother Earth is wrapping in your auric egg, her silver, white, and blue planetary Maharic shield, fully enlivening and protecting your energetic activation and intentions. Bringing your hands in namaste. Making sure you're centered. Your auric fields not down there at the planet Earth still. And slowly opening your eyes.
Namaste. Have a beautiful week, everybody. Enjoy the amazing energies.
Thank you. Much love.
Thank